Thank you, Mohamed San, for your time, for joining the J-MENA project. We're glad to meet you finally in Aizu. So first, let's start with self-introduction.
Okay, so I'm Mohamed Maatar from Tunisia. I'm doing my PhD research in the University of Aizu at the Adaptive Systems Laboratory. I did my computer science engineering degree in ESPRI, the School of Engineering in Tunisia, and then I did my master's in data science and data analytics in CY Tech, which also ST in France.
Great. That's, it sounds like an interesting CV. So I'm studying at the University of Aizu. So maybe we can start with a typical question. Why did you choose Japan?
Well, at first, I didn't know that I will be in Japan. So I was just applying for PhD positions in Europe, in France especially. And I wanted to do something in deep learning and artificial intelligence. And then I had the contact of Professor Ben Abdallah Sensei. And I contacted him, and yeah, I saw the projects that they are working on, and it looked for me like futuristic, something like from the future, and it's so amazing. So I was, okay, this is my shot, I should not miss it. I applied. So yeah, and that's how I ended up in Aizu. Actually, I didn't know Aizu Wakamatsu City. So yeah, now here we are in Japan.
So we're glad that you're here in Japan, you're achieving or pursuing your academic career. And what about the University of Aizu? How did you find the university in terms of education? Tell us more about your experience.
Okay, so the university is, how can I say it? Like, they are very good, so they were very helpful. You know, I applied when the pandemic was going on, so I couldn't join the university as soon as I started. So I started in October and I came here in April. So yeah, it's 6 months. After 6 months, I came here. So yeah, they were helping me, and even my professor and my laboratory teammates, they were very helpful to make me like work from distance. And also the administration were very cooperative. So in terms of papers, in terms of how you will come to Japan, what do you need, all of that, yeah. Even like the directions, what you should take, how you should do, how you should, like, what are the regulations here. So yeah, they are very helpful. And life in campus is also very good. Like, you have a lot of things to do. There are many activities for international people. So there is the JJJ, where internationals gather to talk Japanese with Japanese people, and there is the EEE, where also internationals and Japanese gather to speak in English. So yeah, so yeah, there is activities like this. There is gyms, you can go there, you can swim in the pool, yeah, you can run. It's very nice, and as you saw earlier, it's very beautiful outside. So yeah.
And what about your research? Could you tell us more, like in some technical terms about your research?
Okay. So now I'm working on, it's called neuromorphic systems or neuromorphic computing, which is a field of AI, a part of the field of artificial intelligence, that is trying to mimic the way that neurons from the biological brain, how they work. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. So we try to implement that way of working of neurons into hardware, which give us the ability to create intelligent hardware that are able to learn from their environment and while they are running. So that's the big picture of the of the field.
And if you'd like to talk about finding an academic supervisor in Japanese university. How was your experience with finding a supervisor, your application? How was it?
Okay. Well, I had the contact of Professor Ben Abdallah Sensei from a good friend of my father. So he asked me, "Did you think about going to Japan for your PhD?" I was like, no, I didn't think about it. It's too far for me, so no, I didn't. He said, "Okay, if you want, like there is this laboratory, this professor, he's Tunisian professor. They are working on artificial intelligence. You may contact him. Here's his email." So yeah, I sent my CV and I sent like I'm interested to see if there is any positions, any PhD positions. Professor Ben Sensei answered me. He said, "Yes. So there are some. We can talk more. If it's possible, you can send me a cover letter or motivation letter." And I did. And then, okay, let's go to the next step. Let's have an interview. I said, sorry, before the interview. So he said, "Okay, you can now apply to have an interview." So they sent me some documents for the research plan and for I think administrative papers. So I forgot exactly what was it. But for my research plan, it was very hard. I have never heard neuromorphic term before, before like applying for the PhD position. So I was like, what is this? Professor sent me 2 papers that are published from the laboratory, so I can read them to understand a bit the field. And yeah, I did. I was reading and not understanding anything, and I was like reading and reading again. Then I had to read more, watch some YouTube videos like any beginner would do. So I was watching some videos, reading from here and there, trying to understand the field. And the more I read, the more I become more interested in it. So it's pulling me.
Good.
So yeah, and at the end, I wrote the research plan, hoping that it fits. I hope that what I understood is the right thing, because I was not sure about it. But yeah, thankfully it was right. So yeah, I applied, and then I had an answer. They told me, okay, we can have an interview. So I had 2 interviews. The first one, first day it was a test. So the first interview, I presented myself, what I did and what I'm planning to do in the PhD, during the PhD researches. And then the second day I had an interview with Professor Ben Abdallah. It was one-to-one interview. The first one, there was 3 people. So yeah, Professor Ben and 2 other professors. And the second one, it was me and Professor Ben Sensei, where I had the opportunity to ask more questions. So yeah, it was a good interview, and they told me, okay, you're accepted. So finally. But yeah, and then there was too many papers to come here, and like I had not too many papers. I made my registration. So yeah, to the university, and then I had to wait for the COVID situation. I started in October. It was remote work. It was smooth, a bit hard, but it was okay. Yeah, especially with the time.
Difference.
Yeah. And then I applied for the visa. Here we are.
And here we are. You made it to Japan, from Tunisia to Japan.
Finally.
Through all the process. Based on these experience, what kind of tips and advice would you like to offer for the prospective students? Like what kind of things they should focus on to guarantee a successful application?
Well, understand the field first. Like as I said, I applied for a field that I didn't know that it exists before. So yeah, I had to be curious. So I tell them, just be curious, explore, like read from here, from there, like exploit any resources you have, YouTube, blogs, papers. Just be here and there. Try to match what you know with what are you going to do. So if you find that match, it might be helpful for you even to imagine what's happening in the work and how it will be. So yeah, I think that's one of the most important things. So the first part is to understand what is the field. Then you should see what is going on right now in the research. So what are the, like they say, like related works, or what has been published, what has been done in the research yet until now, and be creative. Like find how to innovate in that field. So after you read, you understood something. It cannot be exactly what you will do because it's a three years project. So you don't know where it will be. You can start here, trying to finish it, and you will finish there. So yeah, but at least you can have some vision, some guidelines to it.
So how was your experience when you just came to Japan? Your interaction with the Japanese, the culture, how was it?
Oh, okay.
Especially you had the experience to study in France and Tunisia, so you kind of have experience.
Well, in Tunisia it was. So there was no change. So in Paris, okay, so I went there. As I said, I'm from Tunisia, so we speak French, so it was not difficult to understand, and like I can read and I can talk and I understand people. So it was easy to find my way there. But in Japan, when I arrived, I was, I cannot even read anything here. Yeah. So I went to the first shop. Sorry, what are you saying? Oh, no English? So yeah, it was a bit hard at the beginning, especially like, okay, in the airport there was some English, of course. I'm not talking about the airport. So let's start from when I arrived to Aizu.
Especially Aizu, exactly.
Yeah. So I arrived in Aizu and I was lost. So yeah, the train station is 30 minutes away from the university. I was, okay, maybe there are buses. No bus. Okay, how can I do this now? So yeah, I thought about walking, but no way. I had like 15 hours flight and I was so tired, and I came for a long period, so I had a lot of luggage with me, and so it's different, and so it's difficult. So yeah, of course, in the train station you will find taxis. So yeah, taxi, he said yes, he speaks English. So yeah, University of Aizu, okay. I was here. So yeah, I came here first to take the keys for my house, and yeah, and okay, people here are very helpful. So yeah, they're very nice and very helpful. So the first day I arrived here, like the administration directly took me in charge, and they were showing me. They took me to my office. I did some administrative things, and then they took me to my office, introduced me to two people. I knew them because I worked remotely with them, but the first time, yeah. So yeah, they introduced me to them, and one of them directly like, okay, let's take your luggage home, like with his car. So okay, they took me home, and then they took me to a shop to buy some things. Okay, the house was not, how to say, there was no mattress, there was nothing. So yeah, they took me to buy some mattress, some things to spend the night, and okay, that's good.
Done.
Very good, yeah. And in the house, I live in international student house, which is provided by the university, which is cheap. Not expensive.
Good.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a good start to begin with as a place. So yeah, and there I live with other students, 4 from Bangladesh. So yeah, and they are very helpful. So the first day I arrived there, so one of them, the first one I met, okay, you are new, okay, let me show you the city. So we were walking. I live a bit far from here. It's like 50 minutes walking 45-50 minutes walking, but there are buses. So yeah, I'm getting used to the bus. Also, I had a bicycle, but okay.
Slowly, you will get more used to
now I almost have the schedule of the buses in my head. So yeah, he showed me the place and the area, which is very nice, and here we are. I'm getting used to it now.
To Japan.
Yeah.
To Japan.